All right. I'm going to call to order the city council regular meeting Thursday, September 11th, 2025 at 6 p.m. Let's stand for the pledge of allegiance.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America, and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
All right, we'll move into roll call.
Alan Pointer, Rob Ward,
Elaine Armstrong, Nikki Wood,
Nikki Harden.
and Counselor Miller and Counselor Hander absent. And now we're gonna take a moment here and do a moment of silence. Today on September 11th, we pause to remember the tragic events that took place 24 years ago. We honor the nearly 3,000 lives lost, the families forever changed, and the first responders who showed unimaginable courage that day. This moment is not only about remembering the loss, but also about reflecting on the unity, resilience, and compassion that carried our nation through those dark hours. I now ask everyone to join me in a moment of silence as we honor the lives taken, the heroes who served, and the enduring spirit of our country. Thank you. All right. Item number 5, changes to the agenda. Any changes?
I would like to remove the financials from our packet.
Out of the consent agenda. Make them item number after citizen comments. Okay.
And I'm recusing myself from financials due to a conflict with a family member being on the bill payment list.
All right. Counselor Harden has recused herself from that. We will go ahead and remove the financials from the consent agenda. Do I have a motion to approve the agenda as changed?
I'll move to approve the agenda. It's changed.
All right, motion's been made by Counselor Harden and seconded by Counselor Armstrong to approve the agenda as changed. Any discussion? All right, all those in favor say aye. Aye. Opposed? All right. Motion carries. Item number 7, approved minutes. Does everyone have a chance to review the minutes? All right, do I have a motion to approve them?
I move we approve the motion of minutes for meeting of July 10th.
Do I have a second?
I'll second.
Okay. Motion's been made by Counselor Pointer and seconded by Counselor Harden to approve the minutes for July 10th. Any discussion? Counselor Wood?
There were 2 meetings on July 10th. So the motion needs to be amended to specify the time.
Oh, got it. Okay. Would you like to amend your motion, Counselor Pointer? You just specify.
Well, I was just going with what the agenda said.
Yeah.
I guess there were 2. So, I move that we approve the minutes of both meetings on July 10th.
No, just the one. Yeah, we've already approved the regular. This is the special.
We were just like 2 o'clock.
It can be
What session?
Okay. Have problems with.
All right, so we want to.
I withdraw my motion.
I'd like to make a motion to approve the minutes of the 2 p.m. July 10th, 2025 meeting of the city council.
Okay, do I have a second for that?
I'll second that.
All right, a motion's been made by Counselor Ward to approve the 2 p.m. work session meeting July 10th, 2025, and seconded by Counselor Harden. Is there any discussion? All right, all those in favor say aye. Aye. Opposed? All right, motion carries. Okay. We are now at agenda item number 8, the proposed sale of city-owned property located at 105 South 8th Street. This hearing is being held in accordance with ORS 221.725, which requires a public hearing before the city council may sell, lease, or otherwise dispose of city-owned real property. The purpose of this hearing is to allow the public an opportunity to be heard before the council considers action. I will now open the public hearing at 6:05 PM. And we will begin with public testimony. If you wish to provide testimony, please state your name and address for the record. Comments will be limited to 3 minutes per person. We will first hear testimony in favor of the sale of 105 South Beach Street. Is there anyone on Zoom?
Nope.
Okay. Thank you. We will now hear testimony against the sale of 105 South 8th Street. Anyone on Zoom? No Zoom?
No Zoom.
No Zoom.
Are there any additional persons wishing to speak either in favor or against? All right,
I'm in favor.
okay.
Okay.
We have one person in favor, all right. All right, hearing no further testimony, I will now close the public hearing on the proposed sale of 105 South 8th Street at 6:06 PM. All right, we will now move into discussion. Following discussion, the council may consider a motion to approve or deny the sale of this property. First bit of discussion is we need to appoint a, what's the correct terminology?
They said agent,
Agent
is what it says in
to,
the last.
not an actual real estate agent, but a person to delegate.
It was
The-
in the negotiations, what it says in the ORS is that, and you had to have an agent that can. If we had to have additional, if we have to have additional, executive sessions, then you have to have an agent that can. Negotiate or discuss the property.
Okay,
Is from what I understand, is that correct, Counselor Armstrong and Ward?
okay,
You can't have an executive session meeting just to discuss a property transaction. You can have one to discuss the transaction with your agent.
okay. With your real estate agent or a agent? Agent. Okay, okay, like a neutral third party type person.
It's whoever the council designates as the agent to negotiate
Okay,
the transaction on behalf of the council.
So it could be like you, the mayor,
Mhm.
or the city recorder.
Okay, well, with that, do we have any nominations?
I think.
Any other nominations? All right. Should we just vote by raising hands if we're in favor of that, or I guess since I'm the only one volunteered?
Well, the first question is, do you accept?
Yeah, yeah, I'll do that.
I move that we appoint our mayor to be our agent.
Second. All right, motion's been made by Counselor Armstrong to appoint the mayor to be the agent to negotiate real estate transactions, and seconded by Counselor Harden. Any discussion? All right, we'll move into a vote. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
I don't know if I have to vote on that. So I will abstain. Right? All those opposed, say nay. All right, motion carries. And I'm now the agent. Now we need to talk about a real estate agent, and having. I think we need to put it out there that now we're officially going to sell the property, and local real estate agents can apply to be that person for us. I think so. And we can review them at the next meeting or before, if we have another meeting, okay?
And we could, if we chose at that time, to then designate that party as our agent.
Okay, perfect. Great. So now the public knows that we're selling the property, so we can put the word out there to local real estate agents.
To decide for themselves.
Yes, yes, yes. Well, I guess we'll do that first. All right. Do I have a motion?
I move that we list 105 South 8th Street for sale.
I'll second.
Motion's been made by Counselor Armstrong to list 105 South 8th Street for sale and seconded by Counselor Harden. Any discussion? All I can say is that I think it's great that we're moving forward with this, and I'm excited.
And
Yes.
then we'll discuss later at a time how much to list it for and stuff like that. The main thing is to get the real estate, you know, talking and stuff, right?
Mhm. I think we discussed the listing price with Lady, can't we?
Yeah.
Mhm. All right, no other discussion, we'll move into a vote. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? All right, motion carries. Okay. Now we will move into the consent agenda. Minus the financials. Do I have a motion? Oh,
Sorry about
Yeah.
that, I just wanna address the financials, there needs to be corrections, and that's why they're being removed. And I just wanted to point that out there. The budget officer found some errors, and so we're going to be fixing that as soon as things calm down and we get the power back on and the staff here again and everything, so. Anyway, I just wanna let you know that's why we're doing it. Okay. And then I have one other thing, if, I don't know if this is the time, but for the staff reports, I would like to read them into the record if I could,
yeah.
if you guys would like it that way. And the reason being is that the staff is saying, I'm making these reports and nobody's reading them, and so it's hard for me to encourage them to make them. So I just wanted to ask if that would be okay.
Let's see.
Okay. Not the first one from Buddy. Actually, if I don't have it in my packet. Okay, so thank you. Yeah. The first one is written by Raymond McKinley, our Buddy as we know him. For the month of August, we met all compliance through DEP for the month. The call outs, the only one they had this month was for Stegs.
Can you use your microphones?
Oh, I didn't see it. I see the progress in the concrete, as you know, the construction is moving along. And I see the progress of the concrete base being poured. They are now starting to work on the walls of the new MBR and have all forms put into place. We had a question of the color of the crane, so Bob Dillard and me chatted, and the contractors and engineers. And we will keep the OSHA yellow for the visibility purposes so that the trolley moving can always be seen. And he's requesting a vocational trainee, intern be hired for the position at the wastewater plant. And you guys see how that information of the voc rehab contractors and things like that, and that's something that we're gonna work on in probably the hiring committee to get more details. But he just wanted to bring that up, that he's been working on trying to talk to a voc rehab counselor to get this set up for us. And so Bob Diller's been working with Buddy. They are using just recently I'm doing the net DMR for monthly compliance. And it's nice to have Bob back in with all of his knowledge. And thank you and he's a temporary signer on our DMRs. And Buddy finished his short school and have the CDU to renew my license for another 2 years for his DEQ license. So that's good. So he's done some things, and so And then the next page is his information on the hiring of, or the possible hiring of the person, the interim, or the newest person, at the wastewater plant. Yes.
So he'll be in touch with the hiring committee about that and then you'll.
Mhm, yeah,
tell council
yeah.
what the-
yep. Because there's other applicants, at least one other applicant, so it'll have to be in there. There'll have to be a decision made there. And then the library. The Lakeside Public Library Director Cheryl Young wrote a staff report. And we are happy to announce Coos County Veteran Services will be coming to the library. James Lindsay, a Veteran Service Director, will be coming on the third Thursday of each month to meet with veterans. And he asks that the veterans call 541-551-0222 to set up an appointment with him. And there's an attached flyer. And the library would like would like the public to know that they offer homework help each Wednesday afternoon until 6 p.m. and Friday afternoons until 4. And their staff is here to help students needing extra help with their schoolwork. And each Tuesday beginning September 16th, our store time will return at 1 p.m. And she has the flyer for the Coos County Veteran Services, and it's posted on our window, and as well as the little flyers for the. Hope I didn't. You were gonna report all this, and Counselor Harden also does the report on her library. But.
Yeah, okay, so we'll have to go there.
Well, you can say it again, because we all need, refreshers, and then, or even stop me. And then, so Dennis Langley for the Public Works, and, they have been working with our partnership on this, SCA project. Dyer's going to be the engineer for the repave on, North Lake Road up to 12th. There, we received a grant for $250,000 for that project. And he has finished the playground fall protection zone. And the cemetery has been doing well since we closed the gate and placed large rocks. Thank you. Commissioner Coates. And the flagpole has been fixed. Yay, we thought it was fixed before, but I guess apparently it wasn't, so now it is. And it's now half enough. And they will be cleaning catch basins and culverts this month. Oh, and I didn't have one from the utility billing, or I didn't put that on. I talked too much.
Great. With that being said, do I have a motion to pass the consent agenda?
I'd like to make a motion to approve from the consent agenda, item B, expenses by vendor summary, and staff reports from wastewater, library, and public works. Did you say to approve? Sorry.
Sure.
Okay. I thought you just said A.
And I just made the motion for item B.
Do I need to?
Okay. Motion's been made by
Yeah,
Counselor Ford
but it's not.
and
Yeah.
seconded by Counselor Pointer to approve the consent agenda items numbered,
Right there.
or items B, C, with wastewater, library, and public works. And recorder pro tem.
I don't have
Oh,
one.
okay, okay. Is there any discussion? Yeah.
Just a quick question for Sharon, she may not know, about the vocational training for the wastewater system. Does the council need to take action on that tonight, or is that something that we might have to do?
I don't think you wouldn't take action tonight. It would be the hiring committee is going to still be, they are gonna discuss what, this possibility and what we're going to
This coming Monday.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. All right, I will. Call for a vote. All those in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? All right, consent agenda is approved. We'll move into citizen comments. Are there any citizen comments? Yeah.
We do have the. Slide one, yeah, just one.
This is a fun one. The speaker's coming. Next month, on October 17th. The speeders are going to be doing their 5th annual toy drive. And so they're gonna be stopping at 13th Street. And they'll have a giant toy box and, what you can do is meet, they say around 3:30. They said 3:30 last year and they showed up 2:30. So I have made up this little flyer, it says between 2:30 and 3:30. So again, it's railroad time. So, if you want to participate or come see them, you can, bring a new unwrapped toy to put in the giant toy box. Santa might make an appearance. The toys are then, will be brought to Coos Bay, and on Monday will be donated to the Rotary Club. So, because of, problems with the bridge, the railroad bridge, they can no longer drive all the way into Coos Bay anymore. So they drop off the speeders on the point, then they take a bus to go to Coos Bay, and they will spend the night. And then instead of going to the museum like they have in the past, they're actually going to be coming back through on Saturday and going back to Vinita. So things are a little different. They kind of did that on in August, but they actually stopped off. They were bused to the museum, so they won't be making a stop at the museum this time. So you won't have a second opportunity to kind of see it. But so anyway, if it's okay with you, I will drop it off so you can have it displayed in the things, and I'll be posting it on most of the Facebook sites.
Great. Okay, thank you.
And we'll post it on the city website. Can we do that?
Okay. All right, we'll move into, before we do item number 11, old business. Do you want to discuss the financials with it just being removed to be fixed?
I want to make a motion to not approve them, so it's official and it's small, so that there's no doubt that we do not approve the financials.
Okay. All right, so since we're on that, do we have a motion?
I mean that we not accept the financials for September.
I'll second that.
Okay, oh yeah. Counselor Armstrong has made a motion to not approve the September financials, and it has been seconded by Counselor Ward. Any discussion? Will these be fixed and put in the next month's meeting for us to see?
Yes.
Okay. Great.
It would be then year to date because we didn't approve the last 2 months either. So they don't bring them back, the old ones, they just will eventually fix it, right? Or
Well, we can fix them now and we can have them ready. I mean, not immediately, but I can fix them within the next few days and at least the parts or the items that were pointed out to me that needed to be fixed. And I can have them, I could print them out as soon as we fix them. And then I can do a year to date for the next meeting. At the next meeting, we'll do that's how the report runs, is it's year to date for the budget to actuals.
the budget to actual what I'm primarily interested in, and we haven't approved the last 2 ones, so this would be the 3rd one. So I figured next month.
It's just all year to date.
Yeah,
It's not
year to date.
September. October,
That's
it's
right.
just-
Yeah, that's
okay.
that was the best way to make that report was year to date for the budget to actual.
Great, we'll move into a vote. All those in favor, say aye. Aye. Opposed? Accused? Motion carries with Counselor Harden recusing himself. We'll move into old business. Item number 12, discuss applications received for open city positions.
We are gonna meet Monday with Bob Gatz, that to go over the key things that we should set up. And review the job applications, but also look at the job descriptions and set a salary range. He did do a study for us. And he has his recommendations. One of them is also to the supervisor. We have authorized 80 to 110,000. He recommends 70 to 90,000, depending on experience. And then this is higher than everyone else surveyed except for North Bend and Coos Bay, we're close to North Bend. So I will make a motion that way we don't have to come back to the council to redo it. That when we have that meeting, that we can fix the price on his recommendation, because the plant needs a 2, not a 4. And really a 1 could sign off on it, because the plant will be a 1 with the new membrane. But because they have supervisory job duties, he's suggesting 70 to 90,000. And then that should open it up a lot, because there are not many 4s, as we all know. And then he's made other recommendations that we'll bring back to the council. We have 1 applicant that has applied for the operator's position, plus the vocational. I have spoken to Buddy, and we were going to talk to Bob about it. Is the advantage of doing a vocational is that we will get a stipend every 13 weeks for participating in it while we're training them, so it doesn't cost us anything. And after a year, we'll get about $1,300 to our advantage. But the problem is they can only work Monday through Friday, 40 hours a week. Then, if I understand it correctly, and I was gonna check with Bob, is that afterwards, if we hire that person, then 75% of their wages is covered by SAFE. So that is potentially 2 years that will help us with our budget, if it works. So that's a big advantage to doing vocational. And as Buddy has stated, that's how we hired him 15 years ago, was that program. So it is a good program. And Bob knows a lot about it. And then we do have 1 supervisor person that we were going to show them the application on. So that's the sewer plant. Then we have had 2 people apply for the city recorder. 1, we asked staff to do a thank you, but they didn't meet the minimum requirements. And so we're waiting a little bit longer. Sharon did post on, what is it, which one? ZipRecruiter. And, but then after we posted it's free, it was for 2 days. And so
I sent them.
you canceled that one, right?
I haven't had a chance to, because we were down
Okay.
on today, but I'll do it in the morning.
Do it more, so it's not this, but there is a site on Indeed that you can post free, and it is forever. There's no time limit, but you don't get the best position on the site because the paid people go above you, but it's still another place to look besides all the other places we're doing. So maybe we'll get some.
So that other applicant are we going to interview them?
Not at this time. We're holding them, but we're gonna wait, maybe get a couple more because they're borderline.
Okay.
I extended the unemployment department's listing today. Because they sent me this thing saying it ran out. Do you want to continue it for the reporter? So I did.
Okay.
So I just,
All right, well, thank you guys for working on that. Takes a lot of weight off the staff. Is there any other questions or discussion on that? All right, we'll move into item 13, the DOR report, city clerk.
Just one thing, I'm sorry, Amanda. Did you guys, were you gonna do that rates thing now, Elaine?
Yes.
Were you gonna
Now,
add,
good now,
is that, can you, I don't know.
yes, I move that we set the salary for our new, wastewater superintendent at 70 to 90,000, depending on experience.
There was a second.
Second, then.
Counselor Armstrong has made a motion to change the salary or the salary range from 270 to 90,000 for the wastewater treatment plant superintendent. And Counselor Pointer has seconded. Any discussion?
Just, how does that affect people who have already applied thinking that was a higher rate?
Well, you can always,
We tell them and hope for the best.
yeah, and, you know, it's also the one we have, we'll be discussing on Monday at 10, our meeting Monday at 10.
All right. Any more discussion? All right, we'll move into a vote. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? All right, motion carries. All right. Now we'll move on to item 13, DOR report, city clerk.
It's in here. What's the report? Yeah. Hey, let's see the staff report.
Give me 1 second,
I
guys.
think the staff report was in there. Months. Did you put it in this folder?
Me, I can print it out really quick.
We'll print the staff report out really quick.
We come back to that item?
Yeah.
Okay. I'll move it to the end of old business. So we can keep moving. Tuesday dispatch services. So when I was at the mayor's conference, I spoke to the mayor of Tuesday. And he called the city manager there. And they were understanding that we haven't been charged for that in the past. They're also understanding that we don't have the money to pay $55,000 a year for the dispatch services. They're willing to negotiate a substantially lower rate, kind of whatever we can pay. But we need to pay something because it's not like they're forgiving the debt forever. Every other city in the county is paying for it. So it's kind of, they're giving us time to figure out what to do, but this bill will come due eventually. And I think that's a generous offer, and I think we should try to see what we can pay, so we're not using the no property tax base as an excuse. I mean, it is the situation, but we will have to pay this at some point in time, so. It's kind of looking more like $1,000 a quarter instead of like 15. So we just need to, at some point, sit down and figure out with the budget, what we can afford and what we can contribute. So,
I would hope that you could talk, we don't know where we are because our 23-24 budget has not been, our audit hasn't been completed. So we don't know what our carryover was from 24-25. And so we don't know what our starting was for 25-26. We may be better off or we could be worse. So we really don't know, because if we were to sit down right now, which fund would we take the $8,000 out of? Because if you look at our budget without knowing what our beginning budget is, we don't know. So I think that's great what you negotiated with them, but if you could say, can you wait until they do our
fine, yeah.
Yeah, we will pay, but we can't say, we can't even commit to $1,000 a quarter, $4,000 because our ending balance for our general fund based upon projection is $3,800. And our IT expense is higher than that, so, so we will pay, but we have to get the 23-24 budget audit done.
Yeah, we're gonna have to review the budget and make sure we know what we can pay and where we started. It's just like a very, it's just another thing that's coming up and we are not getting more income and we're getting more bills. So it's a reminder that things are getting tighter and tighter. And I have a few other, or one other thing to announce that's getting more expensive too, so. I'm glad that Peace Bay is willing to work with us. So I'm hoping we can keep this on the old business section and maybe next month we'll have a better understanding of what we can pay. So. All right. The FEMA pick'em ordinance. I know Commissioner Coates, you guys have been working hard on that. I just wanted to report what I heard from Mayor Bellen Seifer, is a big, I forget what city, I'm blanking on what city. He's a really big in the lawsuit involved in that issue, and they spoke about it at the conference, and they were saying that adopting them is creating more risk for lawsuits for cities, so I just wanted to throw that out there.
Well, we were just tasked because it was passed down to us by, I don't know if it was you guys or Krista, to work out a time, place and manner. And we weren't very happy about it, but we did our best. Just cause
Yeah,
I think everybody on the planning commission kind of agrees that there's not really a logical place to figure that out.
and that's another theme that they said the same thing, that if you adopt the time, place and manner, it's also putting you at higher risk for a lawsuit as well, so.
So I just did what we were tasked with and I told Sharon to give it to you guys, let you guys figure out what to do with it from there. You don't do anything with it. I was just completing what I was asked to do.
Yeah, thank you. So. Did we get that in the last meeting, what the planning commission finished on that?
No, no, that's what Sarah's to do, that's what Commissioner
That's
Coates
what
is
you want,
doing
that's what
today.
she woke me up from my nap and put down here.
And she's on the list. Yeah, she's
It's
on the
somewhere
list
on
for,
the list.
yes, somewhere
And
for,
the committee reports.
yeah, planning committee.
Oh, got it, okay. Well, we'll come back to
You
that.
can come back to it.
Okay.
I'm always
Is there any
fast,
other-
it's okay.
Input, anyone have on that? All right. Item number 16, city recorder pro tem contract. I was absent for the meeting that this was put on the agenda. And I don't know what you guys who wanted to do with it.
It needed to be changed.
There's a number of significant blanks in there
Mhm.
that need to be completed.
And we set it for a hearing, a workshop for September 8th at 4, and it didn't happen.
Oh,
So
okay.
I think that we should just do like we're gonna do back in March to appoint Sharon as the city recorder pro tem and give her an increase of $3 an hour until the position is filled. Then that would take this off the agenda. And if it's paid with her, then raise her to $25 an hour, retroactive from March 11th. It was April 11th, wasn't it?
Yes,
April 11th.
So then
There's,
it's just the blanks would just be the amounts we're increasing it, right?
well, there's there's manager all through it, and she's not manager, she's city recorder. Also, it says they're appointing a new public works director, and she's not a public works director. And also there's some,
I saw the hands, yeah.
yeah, so just do away with this if it's okay with you.
What she's saying is that she's talked to me and I've just said that I don't need a contract.
Oh,
I'll
okay.
just take the raise. and-
Okay.
Yeah, I mean, that sounds rude for me saying, I'll just take the. If
Give me
you-
the money.
Yeah, so, but that's not, that's not what I.
Requiring any contract.
I'm not retiring, no, because no. it was never my intention, it was just, I was told it was, I'm not the one who brought it up. It was brought up by the attorney.
Yeah.
And so, yeah, and so it doesn't, and it's never been anything that I wanted or required.
Well, then, in that motion, though, we need to specify that it's until she goes back to her regular duties.
Yeah, so, and $3 more an hour with some $5 an hour, that is because we're looking to hire somebody at 60,000, it should be 28.85, so for the pro tem. And I would also ask, I mean, my motion to give her a week's admin leave because she has not been putting for time and a half for all her time at work.
Oh, yeah.
So we would pay her for anything on her pay stub
Mhm.
that from April 11th, but then add in an hour, 1 week,
40
40-hour admin leave, because this position is salary exempt.
Mhm.
And by being salary exempt, that means you don't get overtime. And so that would be a bonus and hope. Hopefully we can hire somebody in the next month or two.
And we
So
strongly encourage you to, if you work overtime, put your correct hours down too.
I forgot all about, I put him down as straight and I was like, wait a minute, I just realized that it's not supposed to. I wasn't supposed to do like that because, you're not supposed to do it. Anyway, I didn't
So
do it.
then if she's gonna be putting in for time and a half, then I won't be putting that admin leave in there.
Well, but then it wouldn't be retroactive. Maybe, I mean, hasn't been putting in time and a half up until now, but if she's starting time and a half now,
Okay,
then maybe we should
Yes.
compensate for the
Okay.
time and a half. that she
Absolutely.
put in.
absolutely.
Is that our?
Does that sound good?
That sounds like.
Okay. I move that we, appoint Jen as the city recorder pro tem effective April 11th, 2025. Set her out of class salary rate for $25 an hour. With, 1 week, 40 hours admin leave. And this is until we hire a new city recorder permanent.
I'll second.
Motion's been made by Counselor Armstrong to increase Sharon's salary to $25 an hour and appoint her as city recorder pro tem effective April 11th, 2025, and add 40 hours of admin leave. And this is until we get a new city recorder.
And then I had kind of to go back to that.
And then the salary will return to the regular. And it has been seconded by Counselor Cardin. Is there any discussion? My only thoughts is that we should have done this a little while ago, so thank you, Sharon, for bearing with us.
Well, it was brought up the night of her appointment. And it was, I brought it up,
Oh, okay.
and it was like, well, we'll discuss it later, and get things kicked down the road, and that's why, rather than push this down further.
Yeah.
If everybody is okay with it, I think we should do it. And then, like I said, it's just till we appoint the new city recorder. And then at that point, Sharon would go back to her previous job, previous salary. Is that agreed? Okay.
All right, all those in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? All right, motion carries. Item number 17, Association of Law Owners, Fosbury Village Plan Community Discussion item. I was also wasn't for the, why it was moved to old business, but if you guys want to elaborate.
It's gonna be set for a workshop.
Is that what it's gonna be set for a workshop? Yeah, because we couldn't talk it was a item on the agenda, and then so you don't interact, is that correct with people? I mean, like the council doesn't usually interact. So nobody interacted at the meeting with
Oh,
the
people that came.
presenter,
Oh, okay.
and so then we're going to have so we're gonna set it as a work session or workshop, or something?
That was the consensus.
Okay.
At the last meeting.
I didn't get that. Out of it.
Okay, well, would we like to set a workshop for that? And
Because I thought the discussion was that that would give you Sharon time and staff time to get the records and all the information. How much time do you need?
How much time do you think we need, Mr. Counselor Ward? He's, he's.
Yeah, the problem was, Counselor, Miller suggested that you prepare research for the workshop, but there was no specification of what research was desired.
Yeah, and as you well know, we've got a lot of information. Yeah, of information about this project, or about this subject, yeah.
can just, I do remember reading the information in the packet last meeting, but can someone just summarize to me what the ask was?
There was, as I recall, three parts to it. One is that, the lots in the Osprey Village Plan Community be put on the city's sewer system. That's actually required by both state and local law. The city said it was gonna do it in 2019 and 2020. It didn't happen. And the second request was to make the streets in there public streets. And the third was to seek a public access easement from the east end of the village to the canal. Because when that neighborhood was platted, there was supposed to be the establishment of public access to the lake shore.
Okay.
And so if this might help, perhaps it would be good to schedule a workshop to begin discussion. And during the course of that discussion, identify what research items are needed.
Yeah, I feel like there'll be more brains needed than just the staff in the office, you know,
Well, we're gonna need
planning
more,
person.
because I was involved in the, meetings that we had a huge, like standing room only meeting here, with all of the property owners, at one time. And I was part of that.
It's whichever property owners were in town in January,
Well, it
which is
was,
a minority.
it was a full house.
A full
We
That was
had,
there too.
we had to like step outside because it was as contentious as an ATV meeting. There was a lot of people here.
Is the owner of Osprey Point included in this, or is the owner of the Osprey Point property included in this ask?
At some point, they would have to be, yeah. But as far as some of the street proposals go, and as far as the public access to the lake shore goes, they would have to be involved in that. As far as the sewer system goes, no.
But the sewer system, from what I understand, well, we maybe, I don't know, if the infrastructure is not correct. The size of the infrastructure, the pipes and everything weren't done. There's a lot.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, I mean, and there's lots of rumors about it as well, but not rumors per se, but things that I don't know if I know that are factual or not, so I think a workshop would be
Yeah.
a good start, like Bob said.
Yeah.
Why don't we schedule that, and that's we'll have our research gathering time.
I do know that Dyer was a big part of it, and he did a lot of these reporting to us regarding the sewer system and different things, so there were a lot of Dyer. I walked the village with Dyer, and so.
I We can invite them to a workshop if we
I don't
know
want
what
to.
Ask them.
No, we
Yeah,
don't want
because
to.
It costs
Yeah,
lots of
no,
them.
no.
So maybe we figure out what we would want to ask them and
And we may have
Yeah.
some of the reports,
okay.
I'm sure we do, in the boxes,
Okay.
the files.
Um,
So you wanna set it? So I don't forget.
so our next regular meeting is October 9th.
Mhm.
Can we do it before our next regular meeting, or do you think we should do it sooner? Is this urgent or?
It's not on fire.
Okay. Okay, so why don't we schedule it for before our next regular meeting? Would that-
The day of, or?
Yeah, like
Oh.
4 p.m. That work? I mean, it kind of makes for a long afternoon, but it's one less day that you don't have to come. 9? All right. Great, we can schedule that and we'll put that on there. And it sounds like we probably just need to leave that as the only item on the workshop. This sounds like there's a lot to talk about. All right. Item number 18, Code Enforcement Committee Reinstatement Report. So there's a couple pieces of this. I want to break this down a little bit. One, do we have any applicants?
No applicants.
No, I tried, but you guys never got me the application.
Oh, yeah. One applicant.
One applicant. Okay. Well, we're gonna need to see your credentials.
I'll get that for you.
Yeah.
Do you have any references?
Yeah.
That's okay.
Okay, so we need more applicants.
Okay.
Um, It's a working committee, so I think we need to keep letting people know that the people will be actually doing work to send out the notices and do things like that. Another section of this is, Mr. Armstrong has volunteered to help with his background and to try to get the city on the right track, and he has prepared something for council about what he believes needs to be done to get the city on track. Do you wanna come talk about it, or do you?
Thank you, Mayor. It's primarily a procedure, an enforcement protocol procedure. And if it were followed, it's basically what was done in the past. 90% of all your enforcement is clerical. So you start with the clerical and you have your forms, your non-compliance letter or code violation letters, those need to go out. I mean, once you've identified a problem, I know we have cases that are still pending that need to be addressed on North Lake and on H Street. But then again, there's some that haven't been addressed yet that really need to be addressed, like airport, both sides of airport. I mean, when the city is in a state of disrepair, or, you know, it's just not aesthetically beautiful for people to come in and stay, then we're gonna lose interest in tourists coming and wanting to stay. All I'm asking is that we start just sending out letters, identify who they are. I would be willing to help the staff or whoever it is, you know, you designate on your staff on identifying what violations are, you know, being observed or committed, and then help them put that into one of the forms that I provided. If you already have a form and it more or less goes along with the, you know, the state form that I use this one off of, then, you know, that'd be great. I also really strongly feel that the city needs to adopt the tow ordinance or a recommendation to designate expert towing if they're still interested in being the tow company of record. We can have a window sticker that complies with all the requirements of the law. I submitted on one of those, and Maya would rent them for $50 or what they 30, wasn't very much.
31.25.
Yeah, for 50. And then we could start putting window stickers following our ordinance and on vehicles like the one that was camped on the boat ramp on Hilltop. Once we start doing that, once people see that the city's serious on enforcing, a lot of people will self-abate. At first, it's gonna be hard because we haven't really done anything for 15 years, but once we start, I think people will start complying with the nuisance and the zoning law. And we can work with the planning commission to find out, you know, the ones that aren't complying with their orders, and those need to be forwarded to the city recorder to forward to either the attorney for action for non-compliance and trying to get those resolved.
Yeah, I agree. I agree. It doesn't, I know you told me before, but the ordinance that you said that already existed that you wanted to bring back, do you know which one it is offhand? So I can
It's
just write it
still
down.
currently in the code of ordinances.
It just wasn't repealed.
It was repealed, but it hasn't been codified. So the
Okay,
one that's still in your code of ordinances is one you can use, but with your 2401, you can still go straight to the circuit court through the
we
attorney.
can leave both, is what you're saying?
No.
Okay.
Not really, but
Okay.
you can use the existing 2401 and go straight to the attorney to seek a judgment through circuit court, which is better for the city because you get a really good judgment. You have the option of recovering all your costs and a court ordered lien, which is good for any property that they own in Coos County. And then they're good for 10 years. And then if they don't comply and the lien is, they're not acting on the lien, you always have the option to have the company, the property seized and then sold.
Okay. Why aren't you applying for the code enforcement committee?
I don't believe in the committees because I think that's a possible liability for the city.
Okay,
If you don't have strict guidelines on how the committee is supposed to act,
Mhm.
and you just go ahead and incorporate them to go out and find violators and do whatever it is you're telling them to do, they don't have any protections. I mean, a city employee has protection, limited liability. A civilian trying to enforce the codes wouldn't have any of that protection.
yeah,
And so if you get somebody that doesn't like their neighbor and they on the committee and they take action against that person, there's a liability.
yeah, I don't think. we don't
That's
be
not
having
what we're-
people go out
we're
for
not doing-
streets.
No.
Not if they're,
No, they'll be doing
But-
paperwork.
It's, yeah, it's
Yeah.
just more like identify.
Well, you should know in the past. the
I
city
know
had
in
a
the past.
lawsuit Because the mayor on his own went out and started doing this. And so if you won't have it, but.
That's not what, yeah, that's
That's not
not
the-
what
it's
we're,
not a
not the
problem.
thing, because they're, no,
That's not
they
what this-
can drive by and say that there's a new house going up, does it have a permit? Because there are so many codes, it's not just nuisance, it's more. So we're hoping the committee has more, all encompassing all of the codes.
It does. It
Um,
does, Sharon. I mean, zoning is.
right, yes,
And zoning is also, once you refer from the planning commission to non-compliant, it goes to the city for a nuisance violation.
but I mean, nobody's gonna go in, they're not gonna go stop like I've had to do in the past, I actually put on my vest and stopped people from, destroying the wetlands. And I've stopped equipment, but that is not what anybody else is going to be doing.
yeah,
That's not what the code enforcement committee is gonna be doing.
No,
well. anyways, I mean. The problem is completely out of hand.
Yes,
Yeah.
It's really, really bad, and. I think it needs, and I think it was council's priority, code enforcement, I mean, if. We need to like have a meeting to figure out. This situation so that we can enforce and staff needs to enforce it. But, in my opinion, we can't do the enforcement part, so it's up to our staff members. But, and. So with this being said. I think we should. Have another, either probably a special meeting to talk about. Something like this. Is. Anybody else? How's it work?
When the code enforcement committee was first created by Mayor Crouch. He created a document that defined the role and scope of the committee, and it was very different than what I'm hearing described tonight. So it might be useful to revisit that,
Yeah,
and if this committee is gonna be doing something different than the original committee was formed for, then its role and scope should be redefined.
yeah, I agree, I think we should revisit it, I. Remember more of when the committee was made with Mayor Crouch, we were just. Trying to keep staff accountable, like, and seeing the reports of what had been done.
Right, and it was also to provide input into procedural questions.
Yeah. And. I don't know if it was. Because of the staff at the time, it just didn't work well, and I don't know, yeah, I'm hoping that. It can be more of people, because staff doesn't need more people telling them what to do, they need more help. And whether it's licking letters and stamps and, helping do things like that, more admin work. I think that's what we were kind of leaning more towards, just being more helpful instead of bossy.
yeah, you do have to consider that your ordinance is a law. If your people don't understand the law and they try to enforce it, you're putting the city in civil jeopardy.
Well, I think it would be staff's job to still identify the nuisance, or since they know more about it, that's been violated, and say, so and so is in violation, please draft a letter. They would do the letters, please get it ready to get sent out. And then from that point, if they, to help, is that kind of?
That's
you're
what I
thinking?
was thinking, yes,
Yeah.
is that, they, and it's like an educational committee to show that, to even teach them what the codes are and the things that are in there, and this is violation. I like to drive these guys crazy here because I pull up the code, the criteria. This is what this is. This is a fence violation. This is the Counselor Ward helped me find where privy was in the code. Things
I've
like,
been surprised how many of them I've noticed.
yeah, see, and so that is that kind of stuff. He spent his time finding that for me, because I looked and looked and I couldn't find it, but I knew it was there. So that's what I want our committee to do. Research, find things, and then we can send a letter out, and then I do hope that we get the law, and I wanted like a judge, and I want fines, and I want all of that stuff. I want the whole thing, because it's a revenue source we are not getting with these violations. So I just think that's what I'm hoping our committee does.
And I think that's what the committee last time wanted to be and wanted to do, but they're just. It
wasn't on the same
it
page.
just, yeah.
Yeah, the city, we just need our backbone back, and I think if everyone's on the same page with a good system, it'll help us, you know, get in the groove of things, but until we get this committee going, since we have maybe one application, we should probably do something as council to, I mean, should we review the ordinance process? Do we need to be that working committee for you, Sharon? Like, what do we need to do? And I'm asking you guys too.
Yeah, I think that you could be if the working committee, and then invite more people, tell more people. Say, you know, if you don't have time or whatever.
A food party.
Well, I mean, everything in Lakeside is being done by volunteers. Lakeside is what it is because of volunteers. And so people do have to step up, and you just keep talking, but yes, if the council can help write some letters or, and we have some really good letters that were written in the past from those administrations. And maybe what was shared tonight in the packet.
Yeah, I mean. Yeah, go ahead.
May I ask a question? I think this is one of the reasons, I feel important to be able to be at these meetings, because I concur with what Mike has said about what this is doing to the tourist business, and I touch the tourist business. I have residents here and also people on the lake that come to our business. For the committee, which I think sounds like a great approach and just kind of a fresh start on the subject matter, how is it communicated that you have the opportunity to establish a community, a committee, but how does anyone know where to approach or how to approach, or this is even being done?
It's been on Facebook for months.
And so Facebook is the only communications, is it on the website?
I think it's on the city website.
Yeah, did we put it on the city website?
I was just sitting here thinking about that, we could put a series of articles or a series of letters or on the website, and so people could.
Or Lakeside-tonian,
Yeah.
I mean, there's.
Explanations of what-
I don't think a lot of people know.
Yeah.
That there's interest from the council and the staff to go forward, but lack of ability because there's not enough interest, you know, from the outside, and we are a volunteer city for the most part. So I don't know that I have all the answers because I'm not a technology person, but I just think communication would be helpful in trying to establish, unless you think differently with everybody you all know in the city here that they just aren't interested in it, or.
What I get is from the last committee, because it was disbanded, people think it was a failure and it never accomplished anything. And so I get, what's the point? It didn't work last time.
I think I got this from,
It's the Lakeside I quit attitude.
yeah, and it's they think that the city has no interest in fixing the problem, so they don't wanna, well, why should we help? That's also an attitude as well. But I mean, all we can do is try, and we're up here, you know, we wanna do something, so. I feel that we should review the ordinances and make sure we have a seriously solid outline process. So that when this committee does start, we can say, look, this is what we have. Let's run with it, or even before the committee starts, the staff will know.
I think once you do that, put it in the Lakeside-tonian, this is what the committee, this is, you know, what we plan on doing.
Yeah.
Now, I've lived in Lakeside since 74. And literally, you're gonna see the same people doing something. You're not gonna see a lot of people, because that's the attitude, really, is that, you know, why should I do it? You know, it's not working. So you're always gonna have that small core of people that are gonna be volunteering. Some of us are getting tired,
Yeah.
some of us are getting older. So But if you actually have what the community's gonna do, advertise, it, put a little article in the Lakeside-tonian. That's why I keep saying, you know, when you read the Lakeside-tonian, there's information, but not the information that you guys really need to get out.
Yeah.
A lot of people read it.
I
Yeah.
don't know where to find it at. I've never read a single.
All right, well, yeah.
They're at McKay's.
Well, there's an online version.
Oh, she did last comment. We got
My house, guys, I've never seen the paper.
we got a lot of stuff left, so this will be our last comment.
yeah.
I just recall that much of the complaint I seen in written form, and it was allowed for, I think it was 5 days to get back to that person, if it was a justified complaint or not. And that was staff that took care about that. And so then you can go off, you can launch off then on your paperwork that you need to do and such. But the complaint comes from the community because they're living next door to something or trying to deal with something at the end of the block. So it's not generated by a committee that goes out and sniffs out problems. It's generated by the community that's disgusted with whatever it is that's going on.
Agree, yeah.
And every month, there should be a report that says we had so many complaints, you know, written complaints put in. You don't need to use names, you can use code, you can use numbers, you can do, you know, every complaint should be assigned a number, you know? And then you can say that it's now in this phase, or it's progressing to this phase, or it's progressing to this phase. So that people who see this or watch it can actually say, oh, okay, well, it sounds like something's getting done.
Yeah.
Well, that's
I
the way
agree,
it's
I
being
agree.
done.
Yeah.
That's what we were trying to do.
Overcomplicated process.
Yeah.
For 15 years, it's been overcomplicated. The ordinance as it states now, the person responsible for enforcing is the city recorder.
Yeah.
But it's all 90% clerical. Once you identify that there is an actual complaint, and you gather the evidence, and you file it properly, and you write the letters properly. If you don't do that, then the city's gonna be in trouble. And we're gonna continue to keep kicking the can down the road, and nothing's gonna get done.
Yeah, I agree. I think we're all on the same page that we want.
So are we gonna set a workshop to actually, and I would suggest we take, just hypothetically, take a case and follow the steps and actually do a case. Pretend in case, so we can see if there's any problems or holes in our system, so we're ready to go. But, you know, if you say, okay, we'll continue this and go on, it's another month and nothing's been done.
Yeah.
So I think we need to set a workshop, take a case and do a mock workup and pretend we're following the steps. And then we're gonna get to a section and say, oh, now what do you do? There's a hole in our system.
I would rather do a special meeting so that we could, if we need to take any action, we can. But I like that idea, yeah.
Can we do a
I
workshop?
think you have two pending cases now, and you can refer to the city attorney. That just takes a letter.
I mean, you know, we have that one up on North Lake, that, I mean, we could go through the process and do it, so staff, it's a training also for staff to say, this is what you do, this is where you're gonna find. And then, you know, I know, Mike would be happy to help, and I know Rob, the two probably are the best researchers for violate the rules. And to actually do a case and have it, so then once we see it, if there's a problem, then we can fix it. And then the committee will be ready to go.
Right, because the ones on the airport are growing.
Yeah.
I mean, every day, there's more and more stuff being brought in.
And I think we need to, with staff, to prioritize. Because you probably get a lot of complaints, but we need to start at the top. And work our way down, because it's overwhelming.
But again, it's not just nuisances, they, there's many more problems besides just, the attractive nuisance and those, and what is it, 155.093 or whatever, there's a lot more. So we need to work on.
But we have to start somewhere. And we keep continuing and.
Yeah, but we can write these, but we gotta work on getting this committee to find what we do when we write the letter and they don't comply. What's next? I mean, that's.
So we gotta go through.
That's what
That's
That's
the,
already in the ordinance. There, that's already in the ordinance.
Yeah.
We can start doing it.
but if we, yeah, we'll have to do.
Yeah,
We're-
we'll
we're-
have
move on.
we'll have a special meeting, let's schedule a workshop. Followed by a special meeting, or let's just do a special meeting,
Okay,
so we can. Workshop, talk about it, and then if there's any. I. Would prefer sooner than later. It's 2 weeks from now, all right? Um.
25th.
Oh, yeah, that's right. We have, the Oregon Coast Economic Summit at the mill on the 25th, so. Wait. What about, I think the 26th, it ends.
It's, yeah, it goes the 25th and 26th.
We could do, how about like a Monday afternoon, the 22nd?
That'll be the 22nd.
Second or 27th.
22nd, sure. Okay.
at what time?
Afternoon, okay with everyone?
Yeah.
4? Try not to keep staff earlier. We could do it at 3. Is that all right, Monday at 3, so you guys can hopefully be out here by 5 o'clock. All right, great. New business, sewer rate increase resolution 2025-15. I put those on our dais. Kind of last minute. This is just a draft, and the figures, the numbers and the attachment are just wrong, so just X those out. But I want council to review the resolution and make sure the wording's good. And so the rate increase has been changed. For the pro forma for 10% annually for 3 consecutive years, and then followed by 3% annually for 3 consecutive years. That was just changed as of 2 days ago. So, they don't need us to pass this before the October 2nd meeting, but we needed to have something showing that we're working on it, so. If there's any changes or modifications, please let me know. I'm helping Sharon work on that. Any words on that, or can we move on? All right. 21, discussion of a new CPA. Also, I'm sure, did you request to put that on there?
Yeah, I put that on because. I called 12 different CPA companies, and there are 2 of them that have openings and would be willing to come in and sit down and talk. And I suggested the mayor and the city recorder to see what our city needs. It was quite interesting. One actually took the time and talked to me and says that we're paying $980 some a month to have someone do payroll 1 time a month. And now we're finding out they're not doing the quarterly, they may not be the quarterly reports. We can't get the information we need to do our financials to see where we are budget to actual. And he says that we could, and he named the company, he says that he always refers people to do you can do an accountant for payroll. And he says Gusto or something, they do payrolls and they can probably do it for $200 to $300 for amount of amount of employees. And they do the quarter reports, they do everything that needs to be done. I think it's important that we look at a new bookkeeper, CPA, at least get prices, find out what we need. Our financials, we are not balanced, audited from 23, 24, and every month we go by, we don't know where we're standing. I would like the council to approve contacting these two, having setting up appointments for them to come in or do a telephonic, however they want to do it, to discuss what our needs are. We may find that we want to go back to a a bookkeeper service to do our postings and stuff, because I just think it's an option to look at to save the city money, free up staff to do the other important things we're talking about, because we are not getting our financials, we're not getting our audit stuff done, and we can't get callbacks from our current CPA to get the reports we need to run the city efficiently, and every month that goes by, we get further problems.
Well, do we need a motion to seek a new CPA and interview people and?
I don't know. I sent the information. I think it's something that we just need to look at. It can't hurt to look at it.
I agree that I think the performance of the CPA is not where we need for the amount that we're paying. My only hesitation with that is that staff is not like ready to switch to a new CPA, and I would like to have a new city recorder in first and then say, look, this is the situation, and then go from there, like kind of tackle the head of the beast and then go from there. I feel like we just switched over. And it, yeah, I mean, that's my only hesitation.
And we sat through interviews where if we know what we're gonna do, and if we say, okay, we're gonna go with a CPA, because there was an audit that says, there's several audits that says you should have separation of duties for the protection of the city and stuff. I understand that, and they had separations of duties prior when Sharon was here before, and they had them. But if we, as a council, decide we're gonna go outhouse again, but let the city staff have access, but I guess there's desks online, QuickBooks and stuff, I don't know. But they could still pull up reports, do everything can be done electronically. You no longer have to hand carry stuff over to spend staff time like we were doing in the past. That saves money. But we have to know if we're gonna do that, then we look for something maybe a little different in our city recorder. Because as we sat through these interviews, we're looking for somebody that is really proficient in QuickBooks, and none of the applicants had it. As we sat here, we saw that, right? So we may want more planning abilities or something else. But if we have a CPA that is handling it, but if we don't know what we're gonna do, how can we limit our pool of people we're gonna hire to be the city reporter? That's my only issue, because we sat here and interviewed 3 applicants, and nobody had any accounting background. So how can we bring somebody in to have the oversight for our city and the financial situation we're in? But if we say, well, we're now outsourcing again, and you just have to be familiar with QuickBooks, you have to look at it, you have to pay attention. The council's gonna take back our role of being aware of what's going on. Let's focus on somebody that has planning ability or something like that, permitting. But we can't decide until we know what we're gonna do.
Okay, well, let's, Counselor Armstrong is asking for a motion, so if someone wants to make a motion, and then we can go into discussion and then move on to a vote. Go ahead, motion.
I move that we go out for bid and look for a new CPA bookkeeping service.
So,
Motion's been made by Counselor Armstrong to look for a new CPA, and Counselor Pointer has seconded. Is there any discussion from someone who hasn't spoken yet?
Okay, let me take it again.
Just other opinions. Okay. All right, well, if there's no more discussion, let's move on to a vote. Oh, okay, go ahead. You can go if you want. Say, I just kidding, I'm kidding. Okay. All right, all those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Nay. All right, motion carries. With that being said, staff. Do you want to do that, or since Elaine's already done the footwork for it, do you want me to contact the CPAs? How would you like to proceed?
I think that you should contact the CPAs.
Okay,
And I was wondering if one of the CPAs is Langdon
Yes.
in Bridgeport.
Yes.
Okay. Cause anyway, I just happened to meet somebody that told me a little bit about them over, but, so
okay,
I thought they would be somebody that would be good.
But he bought out the business of the previous people there who specialize in it. He does read sport.
Mm.
And then one is somebody,
oh, it's not that
no,
group in Newsport anymore,
it's the same building, same place, but he bought the business.
okay. Okay, well then you wanna get me contact information and then we can call?
I guess I'll get it back to you again. And then, yes, because when I talked to them, I only briefly explained, but I don't know what the needs are and the terms you use and the procedure and what you're looking for. That's why I think it's
Okay.
important for.
Well, yeah, we need our bookkeeping, payroll and everything associated. We also need the, reconciliations for our state pool.
Yeah, it might be best if you contact them, Sharon, because you know the nitty gritty of our actual daily needs. What do you think?
I could,
Okay, it's because they both said that until they know what we need other than the payroll, they can't give a price. And so they wanted to talk, and I explained to them, I didn't know we were using QuickBooks. And I think I even said online or desktop or something, but as I says, they need to talk to both of you guys to see what our needs are. And see the price and see if it's feasible to take everything back out like we did and set up a system that would free it up for the nuisance, the e-permitting and everything.
well, we still, I like our online bookkeeping's fine, the way we're gonna do it, if they would just oversee that. But we always did our own bookkeeping. The city of Lakeside did it until like 2020 or something like that. There was always in-house bookkeeping. Other than I really do believe that we need to do the payroll and the payroll reporting and the reconciliations for that report. And then there's probably some other things, but I really want somebody that calls us back or answers the emails more. I mean, I think they all do the same thing for everybody, but I just can't get my answers.
And like I said, $1,000 a month for payroll is a bit high.
All right, great. Move on to item 22, update employee handbook, additional holidays to be added. Is it just Juneteenth that you were looking to add?
Yes, we
Okay.
thought there was a second one, but it turns out that there wasn't. So it's just Juneteenth because we didn't know how to handle that when it came up. And as far as time off.
But I thought we were gonna do a workshop for reviewing it, like we did our council rules that were,
The whole, well, it was just for that one. We're going to do more. When we do an actual update of the entire employee manual, we'll have to have input.
Yeah.
So you're just adding that one day.
Just that one day, that's just your guys's answer as to, do we get it off as a paid holiday or not? Because some It's not mandatory. There's some observe, some don't, because I checked different cities. And some cities have what they call a, like a roving holiday or a personal day or something, or a couple personal days, and you can use them, as you please. Like, for instance, I don't observe, if I didn't observe Columbus Day, I can use, so it's not given to every, but anyway, so you can move it. And so you
Kind of
can,
that at the bank.
yeah, that's what they do. You have your choice, so,
Well, then should we schedule a month or so from now? Because other than the Juneteenth day, everything, the holidays are off. Should we schedule to do a review of the personnel rules?
we'll have to do it there. I know that they started doing one in like 2021, I believe. That, because there's a draft,
Yeah.
so it might almost be done.
Yeah. And then they talk about maybe giving me your floating holidays. as
Floating
well.
holiday, that's the word.
Since we already have a workshop for the 9th. We were, at the beginning of everyone taking their turns, we were gonna do one every 2 weeks, well, besides our regular meeting. So we can start making an agenda for 1, 2 weeks. After the October 9th.
The 23rd, isn't that?
Yeah, if we wanna do that and just have a set. Workshop day like we had been doing months ago.
So,
But as far as the question on the table, what does council think about adding Juneteenth as a holiday? Any motion?
I think we should wait before, like, we have plenty of time, and we should wait, because what if the staff says we would prefer floating holidays and take whenever they want?
That's fine, for me, Juneteenth isn't for another year,
Yeah.
so.
okay.
For the 23rd.
We just do 4 o'clock. About fine.
We do the council rules now.
3, is that all right for everyone?
What's your-
October 23rd. At 2 p.m. And to Tiffany.
Okay, it's a special meeting to go over the
Rules
council rules? No.
or handbook.
Handbook,
Should I
okay.
just? If we're gonna. Oh, I guess then we would have to then update it and then review it again before we adopt it, okay? Yeah, workshop,
Okay.
all right. Time, place and manner. Planning commission report.
Okay. There's actually a whole bunch of things Sharon wanted me to tell you guys.
Okay, that's fine.
She gave me a list. So I guess we'll start the easy stuff, right? So like,
There's not even a microphone there.
I know. So Sharon wanted me to let you guys know that, what was it, last week? That we did one of our mini quasi judicial trials for a steep slope permit. I think they approved it. Oh no, I wasn't in that one. I was in the hallway. So they approved it at, what was it, 410 Mall Terrace up on Council Hill, steep slope permit. Oh, so like every single month, we're doing these quasi judicial trials, it seems like, on conditional use permits, and they're almost all for Airbnbs. Every single one that comes across. So Commissioner Granzo is the one that suggested that we need to make, I wouldn't really say changes, just add some additional things to the current Airbnb code that the last commission directed. So I think we're gonna be starting that, this coming month or something.
Yeah.
And then your your time, place and manner. Okay, so I did a survey because we didn't know how else to do it. And this probably wasn't the best idea, because we had a couple bad locations thrown on there that weren't removed in time by Krista before the survey went out. So basically, we were asked to figure out a city-owned place. And we threw in that it could not be within what did we say, 100 feet of a school bus stop. We did not want it near the city park. That limited our ability to place it, so on the survey we put out. We had the suggestions of up by where the new sewer plant's being built, so it'd be up by the city maintenance shop. A commissioner suggested at the very tip top of North Lake, right over the bridge, right before the bridge, whatever, up on North Lake. And 2 commissioners suggested the airport parking, which is now fenced off and full of sand. So it was our decision that we give you guys the survey and let you decide where to place it under our suggestions. And you guys can add other places. Those were just our suggestions. Usable city property, because the other one that was looked at was the current sewer plant location, which is 9 months out of the year a swamp. So it would not be ideal for winter time to have people temporarily camping. So that brings us to the time and matter. So I believe we decided what 8 p.m. to 8 a.m. And our decision was based on the fact that 8 a.m. is about when city staff comes in, mostly Dennis, to kind of make sure it's cleared out at that time. Manor is kind of where it gets more difficult because I was very up in arms about this. I thought all the commissioners were. I contacted Drew Farmer, our county commissioner. He kind of broke it down that if we didn't have a definitive definition of what exactly we expect, there's no way to enforce it, but we don't have a way to enforce it anyways. So I picked very careful words, which is temporary, overnight, respite only parking. So they can pull in, they can sleep, they gotta be out somewhere else by 8 a.m. If they do it anywhere else other than that select location, then it's then enforced by code enforcement or police. If we had it. So I get lots of community input. They think it's a camp. It's not a camp. They're not allowed to set up a camp. They will have a basically like when we decide a warning kind of thing where if they, I don't know if we put it in there, but people were suggesting that we give them like a 3 strikes warning. I don't know if that got put in there. I don't know if we're even allowed to enforce anything like that. We don't have staff to enforce it. There will not be, because we only want them to stay overnight. We elected to not include temporary restrooms, temporary trash, because that involves staff and money to clean it up and take care of it, maintain it. Porta potties are about $120 for 3 days. So that's expensive to have a porta potty on site. So it has to be very clear, pull over, sleep, and get out. Based on your guys' recommendation of a location. And I don't know who tasked us this, if it was you guys or if it was Krista or where it came from. I do know that we have to have something. Because we don't have anything on our codes to enforce, and without something being written down, we can't enforce it. Is my understanding of it by Drew Farmer? Yeah, that's what
Yeah,
Commissioner Farmer told me, is because we don't have anything to enforce, we have to have something to enforce. It's very complicated.
Mhm.
So that's what we did. Now it's your job.
Yeah, and they were talking about. If people are, the state is enforcing cities having that and they're not. Because it's. So legally gray.
Yeah. I know that we're not up to what the state was wanting because we don't have anything. It's hard, it's complicated, I'm not happy about it. That's my stance as Sarah Coates, not commissioner, so. I presented you my information, now it's up for you guys to figure out what you wanna do with it.
Did the planning commission talk about using Spin Reel Road, or does that have to be?
It has-
separately
So,
lots?
that's where it kind of gets fuzzy there too, so. When we started it, it was recommended to us that it be like on city limits, on a city property, but enforced by county. Because county and ODOT can tag vehicles where we can't. Spin Reel is completely county owned, so therefore that doesn't fall under our jurisdiction. And we have so much limited city property unless you want them to line up down our residential neighborhoods, which was not an option for us. So you're looking at, it has to be basically on a main road or on a city property, like City Hall or the city house on 8th Street or a road. But it can't be county road because county doesn't have to do this.
Did you guys talk to the attorney about his opinion?
I believe Sharon,
Would, yes, I did. And so what the attorney said is to do exactly what they've done, and that was discuss it. Want to come up with what they recommended. And then take to the council, and then the council works on it and he would write an ordinance.
yes.
Did anybody have any other thoughts?
I do want to add that we asked it to be presented to you minus Jacobson. We wanted Jacobson removed because it never should have been put on the survey.
Okay.
So take that in consideration too. We don't want it we want it in like one of the least populated areas that we can take it.
Where on North Lake Road were you thinking?
That was suggested by one of our commissioners. I believe she was talking about like you go up and over the bridge right before our city limits,
And that's
I-
not private property?
not on the road.
So there's a park.
That was their suggestion. My suggestion was the city maintenance shop. So just so everybody knows, that's the place I suggested, just because
Alongside-
Dennis coming and going, I thought it made the most sense for it to be kind of kept an eye on. It's easily accessible from the highway, because that was an argument that somebody made was, well, if you're traveling through and you need to pull over and take a nap for the night, it'd be easiest if it was off the highway, because there might be travelers coming through that just need to pull over. Makes sense. So to me, by the city maintenance shop kind of made the most sense. And then two other commissioners decided it was the airport. And then shortly after we put the survey out, the airport came raising a fuss about the fence. So I highly doubt that they would probably want it there. But that's up to you guys. It's your property. You guys are limited on places. I mean, every road here is a residential road. To be honest, even our commercial road is a residential road because there are houses. And I don't think you want to put them here at City Hall where park is. We're kind of limited. It's a hard decision. And you guys can put it somewhere else if you want to. Like I said, it was suggested the old sewer plant site.
You can't put them in a flood plain.
I think technically you can,
Yeah.
but it's not good because in the winter, you have to designate a second site for
Yeah.
winter time and one for summertime is what was it, Henry that suggested that?
Yes.
Yeah. I mean, you can put them anywhere in the city. Just, there's not really a good place.
House Bill 5522 was repealed by the Supreme Court. What law are you trying to follow?
House Bill 3115.
Yeah.
What was that?
Well,
3115.
HB 311.
House Bill
does
3115.
anybody have a copy of it? Because House Bill 5522 only required to find a warm and dry place, but that was overturned by the Supreme Court and
Correct.
grant.
Well, yeah, but this is
This
not,
is the Oregon right to rest bill. That basically says everybody is entitled to a place to sleep that's safe. And I believe it also includes they have a right to use the restroom, among other things. That's what the HB
It's,
House bill
it's
is.
another one of those unfunded mandates that they
Yes.
just put on cities to get the burden off the
Correct.
state.
And when I talked to Drew Farmer, he's, cause I said, he knows what we're dealing with, he knows that we don't have enforcement, we don't have police, we don't have staff. But unfortunately, they don't really care, and we can't like, cause I tried, I'm like, hey, is there a way we can get around this? Is there some kind of exception? Commissioner Granzo was helping me look into different things he was seeing online and things about exceptions, and unfortunately. We have no choice. We have to have something at this time on our books. Yeah, I know, we're not told.
By when do we have to have it?
Well, we should have had it a while ago,
like July 1st last year.
last year. We are in non-compliance by the eyes of the state.
It was the penalty for being non-compliant. Did it have any kind of population where you just, you know, you don't have enough population?
That's something I don't know to see what the penalty is. All I know is it kind of made sense to me when they told me. And that, like I said, this is coming from our county commissioner, because he goes, you don't have anything in Lakeside. You have abandoned vehicle parking ordinances from like 1994. He goes, but you don't have anything that says where you can't camp, right? So.
No, you do. You have.
In the commercial zone, but not residential.
Right, so it's, if we don't want them camping in city limits down 8th Street by the post office, then we need to put somewhere in our code book that says, this is the only place you're allowed to do it at. And then if they're caught in the other places, then when we have enforcement, they can get rid of them or force them into this one spot.
Yeah.
As of right now, the way it was explained to me is we're like in a free-for-all kind of situation, and like anybody can just pop a tent on the sidewalks down here. Because we don't have a thing that says they can't.
We do. We have a camping ordinance that says you can't.
We can't tell them
To leave.
to leave unless we have
Yes.
someplace else for them to go.
Correct.
That's
That's what the new state law is
Yes.
saying.
yeah.
So if you don't want them here, you gotta make it so it's okay here.
But it has to be objectively reasonable.
Yes.
Right.
And that's the-
And that's, they can't come up with
And-
the definition.
Yeah, it's like you guys learned it all.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's low seas, just like we don't.
Trust me, this has been the bane of my existence for what, a few months now, and we have all rolled it around, and us commissioners have yelled and screamed at each other. Even though we're screaming and yelling about the same things, just because we kind of felt pressured into doing something that we don't think Lakeside should be required to do.
Yeah.
But
Yes.
unfortunately, we have to kind of, in a way.
And there was, in I believe it's March 13th of 2022, we had Patty Mulvihill here,
Mhm.
and she did a really good presentation of the law and what we had to do, and it's still,
And I believe what
and
happened
it's on
is
it's on the website.
when the timeline came, at that time, mayor and city council, I think just opted at that time to just see what Grants Pass was doing, so they didn't do anything, because they're waiting to see what happened with Grants Pass, and then they all got recalled. And so then nothing got done. And so now here we are, a year and a half, 2 years later almost, trying to fix it,
Yeah,
even though we don't want to.
I
Let me just keep putting that out there, is I'm not happy about it, but I just,
for enforcement's sake.
for enforcement's sake, it has to
We need
be
it.
done. As a
Sure.
community, it's a dumb idea. But if we want to make it where they can't just go wherever they want, then we have to designate a spot where they can for enforcement sake. Trust me, I asked all kinds of people. I was calling the state government, I was writing letters, I was calling commissioners, I talked to Bob Main, I did everything I could think of, and we can't get around it.
Everyone at the state level too is like, I don't wanna
Yeah,
accept that.
yeah.
Because it's really.
Well, because at one point in time I asked you, what the heck am I supposed to do with this? And you're like, "Well, good luck, planning commissioner chair, so.
Nobody really knows.
Yeah, so that's where we ended with it, and so we drafted our recommendations and we said, okay, that's enough from us. And now it's council's fault.
Thanks.
Alright, well, council members, do you have anything to say?
Just a question, you said that the commission drafted recommendations.
We did it by the survey. Sharon put the survey out, she pulled the results. I think that survey also go to Henry
Mhm.
at one point in time, and Henry approved it. And then all we were required to do was to give you the locations that we thought were best. So we just passed over by Randy Thomas, I believe, recommended we just hand you the survey, the information we found as our recommendation for you guys to take it from there. And I believe Henry okayed that.
Okay, we haven't seen that Actual.
Yeah.
It has to be written.
Yeah.
This is her
This is
verbal,
my plea.
this is her verbal,
This is my,
but it needs to be an actual,
that you will be getting.
yeah.
With 3 locations, not 4, because we decided that having Jacobson on there was a poor decision by a former commissioner. And so we did not want it on there to begin with, so it was removed.
Okay. All right, does anyone have any other questions for Commissioner Prince?
I know it's a lot.
Yeah.
I'm hoping though, if we get these little changes done to the Airbnb thing, we'll have to like do less of these quasi judicial trials every month, right? Cause I've been doing
No.
one every month, you know?
No, because the reason we need, there's been a lot that people are doing exactly what they want without them, so it's good that they're back, that we're
We've literally been doing
going in front of the council.
pretty much one conditional use permit every month, and they've all been Airbnbs for the recreational residential and stuff. Which is nice, so they're coming to us, it's just, that there's like 10 pages reading, there's a lot of it. I have to sit there and read like all night, it's terrible. But we haven't got anything else done, we were wanting to work on, what was it, the 155-1. Our, I can't think of it, our main code for the thing that we haven't worked on in 10 years, what's it called?
Oh, the comprehensive plan.
Comprehensive
Oh,
plan.
And we, yeah,
That was one of our goals, because it had to be done, and we haven't had a chance to work on it at all.
That's a big one, yeah.
Yeah, because we've been doing nothing but conditional use permits, like crazy.
Well,
Because everybody wants their business permits, and we can't give that to them without their seat, so.
take your planning commissioner chair salary and take yourself out to a nice dinner.
McDonald's it is.
Thank you for reporting to us. It's good to hear what you guys are doing.
Yeah.
I can't always make it, we can't always make it to the meetings, so. I appreciate it.
I've never seen any of you guys except for Rod.
Yeah, we got a lot of things going on, so.
Well,
Yeah.
you always, Sharon had to wake me up from my nap to remind me, because I told her I could never remember when your guys' city council meetings are, I have them all the time, and I'm like, send me a reminder, so she woke me up.
With that being said, I think this is something that's, we need to discuss in more detail. So we can add it to our October 23rd workshop. What do you guys think?
Well, do you have the report? Well, it's fine.
Hopefully.
I think she should, it's Henry has it, right now, the survey and all that stuff.
I'm not sure, I'd have to double check.
Sharon's been busy.
Yeah. That gives us a month.
She can't even give me an application, so we're good.
It's probably because we didn't have a computer. We didn't have power for 2 days, and then, like, and then, yeah, and then when the power came up, then none of our computers worked.
Right.
So, yeah,
We're gonna move on. before
yeah,
everyone falls
yes,
asleep.
please, yes, please.
24, discussion on obtaining additional audit assistance. Sure.
Okay, so, we have a list of items from, and I forgot to put them in here, of items that we are trying, we've been working with our auditor for the 23-24 audit. And we have a list of items that we need to get to them. We've been getting a little bit at a time, handing it to them. Well, there are some items that we just don't know what they're talking about. And where to find them or whatever. So I contacted Laura Fisher, who was our auditor for years. And asked her if she could help us in some way, because she would know where cause she's the one who did our last audit, our last complete audit. So she should be able to just take off from there, and then help us to find what we need, where to find the reports, cause she used to do that. She used to have remote access to our system. So she can find everything for us, and I think quickly. She did say that, and I put her letter in there with her fee of she knows we typically their fees $300 an hour. but she could do it for two because she knows Lakeside doesn't have any funding. This is what she said, her words. Yeah, but hopefully that we'll be able to get it, that the list isn't extensive. I think, didn't she say in there what she, her estimate?
75 to 100 hours. 15 to 20,000.
Really? Is that what she
75 to
said?
100 hours of her time.
Oh, we're not gonna let her have, take that much time. We'll help.
8 hours.
Okay, cause we can help. But I mean, we're not signing a contract. It's the audit, we have a contract with the auditor, a different auditor. Cause Laura's retired from being an auditor. And it's really, and we have an auditor, but, they kind of like, was that ghosted us, and so we had to keep hunting them down. And then finally got the list, and so we started working on it, but we don't, there's some things that we need help finding. And like I said, I figured that she was the most knowledgeable person that we could come up with, but it's up to you guys if you, well, we do have to get this audit done.
Yeah.
And there's not very many auditors in the state. We haven't paid anything for the audit that the council signed a contract with Clear Trails. No, Polly Rogers. And then they signed a contract with Polly Rogers. The person who was our agent left the company, took our account with them. And, that's who we're working with now. I don't know how that happened exactly, but they've not been all that forthcoming, so I just think we need some help.
Would council want to approve an amount, up to an amount?
Yeah, cause this estimate, she gives an estimate range of $15,000 to $20,000.
I don't wanna.
But she does say if she does a lot of the work, most of the work. I talked to the budget officer and I'm saying, where are we gonna get this from?
Right.
And
That's my next question.
she says,
Yeah.
first we were talking, and that's when we came in talking about this, is the contingency fund. That's when we noticed that the roof had been taken out of the contingency fund, so we're taking that back up. But she said that if we have to do it, because we can't move forward until that's done and we know our beginning cash balance for each year. She's thinking that if we take, she figured there'd be 2 years budget in this year, and she did like 47,000, right?
In the audit.
On the audit. But there should be a carryover from last year. So we should be able to split this between the general fund and the sewer plant. There should be money in there, but not 20,000, not 10,000 for each one, but like it says, until we get them done, we don't know where we stand. So we have to do something, and the line item, the motion should be to take it out of it, is our accounting one, because she did 2 years in there.
Well, yeah, cause what we decided, cause there's an audit, there's a line item called audit. And that's, and in each fund,
Yeah.
and so that's where she wanted, the budget officer said 50% from the, from general, 50% from the wastewater. In the fund, so they're thinking 100 hours, is that what that equals out? It should be 100 hours?
100 hours would be 20,000. 75,
Yeah.
she said 75 to 100 hours, so that's 15,000 to 20,000.
That's only 2.5 weeks. Right? Right?
How do we finish audit? Yeah, but So that's why it would be so important that if it frees up
Yes.
that time, so they
Yeah.
can do the bulk of it, and she only does a few because, you know, we don't know the list of what they're looking for. And you had originally said that you thought she could do it for like 7,000 or something like that, but that's only 24 hours, or 25 hours, so. If we put a amount on it,
A cap, yeah.
yeah, the only trouble is, you know, then what she, like it says, it has to be done, we can't move forward until it's done. So,
What if we approve an amount and then we figure out where we stand after she does that work, and if we need to come back and approve more, then we can?
Yeah, I just didn't do the math, I'm so sorry, because then when you do it and you realize that it's only 2.5 weeks.
Do you want to talk to her more?
Yeah, let's do some more
Okay.
talking, I gotta,
She says that
Look
it's
at my
gonna
list.
take her a few months.
Is this for 23, 24, and 24, 25?
No, just 22,
23,
24.
So it's just for 2 years ago,
Mhm.
so you haven't even started 24, 25?
We can't.
Until we finish
Yeah,
this last one.
Well, I know, but I was
They
assuming.
said that you can't, I tried to get other auditors and the other, like, to contract with other auditors for 24, 25, and they said, nope, we can't do it. We won't even sign anything like preemptive audit, contract or anything until 23, 24 is done.
Well, yeah, because they would have started it in June, July. You know,
Well-
to get the information, because they have to be done by the end of December.
It wasn't even started till January of 24 or 25.
Well,
Like the
because,
process hadn't
yeah.
been started till January this year.
Mhm.
Yeah, because you found out it's late. You know, I mean, because
Well,
normally it
yeah,
comes out.
it should have
it
been
comes out
started
the end of
last
December.
June, July,
Right.
and it didn't.
It didn't, because, yeah, because the other person, that's why the other company took ours from the one we signed the contract with. And that
You
messed,
have a contract though with that company, correct?
Yeah, I wonder what that contract states.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Sorry,
but they're
that's all,
saying,
you know.
but if the trouble is, if they're saying, I need this information and the city can't get it to them, then they, you know,
But according to Sharon, it's not even at that company anymore.
it's no longer Polly Rogers, it's now with Clear Trails, because she was the lady, the person, but Clear Trails was an auditor at,
That's
Polly
why
Rogers.
Jackson started it all and took the thing. So,
How's that even allowed?
yeah,
it was.
somebody approved it
Mhm.
and allowed it.
Wasn't council,
No,
no. All right, would you like to get more information on that? and let
Yeah,
us
I'll
know
get
what
more
you need?
information, see what, maybe we need to, just, staff needs to focus some more. There's just,
did you send her the list of what?
I did send her the list of what we needed.
Because the budget officer did say she'd be happy to come down and help you. That's what she did, audits. She might be able to help you. But we have to do it as soon as possible.
Yeah, I know.
Okay, so does the council need to authorize her to have permission to come in and work, to look at your books and stuff? I don't know.
No, she's already been approved as a budget
Okay.
officer, and that's what we're trying to get, is the budget.
Okay.
We're trying to get the audit done so we can fix the budget, so, right?
Okay. All right, item number 25, cleanup day and spin reel. September 13th is the annual Lakeside cleanup day. Probably nobody's listening to this, but if anybody is going to be helping move things for other people, I've had people reach out to me saying they need help getting stuff to the garbage cans. So, if somehow someone knows anything, please let staff know or myself, so we can get the people that don't have a way to get their garbage to the dump, Spin Reel Road, still coordinating with, Bay Area First Step is gonna be there to help the people before the cleanup happens. Advanced Health is going to be there helping people and the children that live there get health insurance. And, Coos County Health and Wellness will be there as well. So we're going to get the people help, yeah.
That's a Saturday, correct?
So we're gonna be doing it, we were talking with the US Forest Service, we're doing Friday, Saturday, tentatively Sunday. Because the Forest Service doesn't work Sunday and they don't even really wanna work Saturday.
It's Coates Construction.
Okay, yeah, so,
You want my excavators, we can do both on Friday, but I'm also going to Halloween Town on Saturday, so that's important.
yes, that's very important. I think Friday we'll be doing the bulk of the heavy lifting. The Forest Service said they're bringing a dozer
Okay.
as
Let me
well,
know.
and then the city has their front loader.
That doesn't do much.
Yeah, so between all of the machines, it should be
Just let me
okay.
know, cause
Yeah.
I noticed it was a Saturday, I'm like, oh, that's not gonna work.
No.
My machines.
We're definitely doing Friday
Okay.
because the Forest Service will be there then, so, and we definitely need all volunteer help we can get. There will be waivers to be signed, of course. Well, there's that. What, is there any questions from council or anything?
What date is that?
It's October 10th and 11th. All right, admin committee. I made a resolution because Sharon was saying we should reinstate the administrative committee that we had, which was just essentially two council members, and I threw in a citizen in there as well, just to go over the bills. It's just another level of oversight, that was once a thing in the past. So I think this is just a draft resolution, and I wanted to see if council even wanted to bring it back. I can read this resolution just so people know, kind of just go over the gist of it. Whereas the city council of the city of Lakeside recognizes the need for administrative committee to review, evaluate, and make recommendations to the council regarding administrative policies, procedures, and other matters assigned by council. And whereas the creation of such committee will provide additional oversight, community input, and support for the efficient operation of city government. And we designate 2 members, and the duties. Review administrative policies and procedures as directed by the council. I think we should probably just, we need to put in here like the bills somewhere. Like, accounts payable, receivable.
Yeah, yes.
Okay. And provide recommendations to the city council regarding improvements and efficiencies conducted on additional work as assigned by council. It's kind of just like our hiring committee, but
And I think Counselor Pointer, you've always been involved in the admin, in the admin committee, so you know.
So I would move that we accept resolution 2025-16 and form an administration committee to look over the financials for each council meeting.
you guys want to? Yeah, okay, I have a motion, do I have a second?
To accept this resolution, including the change you said.
Including the adding review accounts payable in a second. Okay. Do I have a second?
I second.
Okay. Counselor Pointer has made a motion to accept resolution 2025-16, a resolution establishing an administrative committee and appointing members. And it's been seconded by Counselor Armstrong. Is there any discussion?
We just have to have the information in time, and it would be nice to have the committee meet a few days before the meeting, so. Be time to correct any issues that come up. And it was when we did that before, it was very useful. I mean, we're good, the council gets this piece of paper with all the numbers on it, they don't have the time or inclination to look it over, and the committee can do that.
I agree.
That worked well.
Okay. All right. No other discussion, we'll move into a vote. All those in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? All right, resolution 2025-16 passes. I can either wait to appoint the city council members, maybe till next time when everyone's here, or, because we also need one member of the public. And should we have people apply and then we review the applications? Like all the other?
We didn't have a public member before, but so that's new, but.
And that's if you guys, well, I guess we passed it, but I like the idea of having someone from the outside, yeah.
If you can find somebody that's willing to do it. And the meetings are public meetings, so people can come and listen to them if they want to.
Is there 2 members of council sitting here now that would like to do it? What's that, I'm talking?
We want her on.
If I don't have 2, then we'll wait till the other 2 are here.
The other two,
Yeah.
I don't know.
Okay. So we'll put this to old business for next meeting and, in posting that we need code enforcement committee members, you could say we need 1 person to the administrative committee. If we can. All right. 27, select the grant to apply for, and public comments are welcome.
Okay, so I looked into some grants, there's not a whole lot that's available to apply for right now. I'm also still looking into doing the grant writing class and whatnot, haven't gotten there yet. So one grant that year-round is available to be applied for is the T-Mobile Hometown Grant, North Bend and Coos Bay both have just gotten these. It's a $50,000 grant to do a project, so build, rebuild, or refresh community spaces. They want it to be a community thing, so it would be involving the community and coming up with an idea of something that would help benefit us in our area. It's really interesting how they do it and, like I said, year round, so it'd be a cool project to work on if we had some ideas. There's another grant, the HUD Community Development Block Grant. That one is due at the end of the month. But it does offer a lot of really, good, I mean, it has like a $2.5 million public works wastewater improvement amount on here. You know, things like that. I wish we would have known about it sooner because our date's really nearby.
I don't apply for the CDBG grant because I thought our income was too high. No.
No. No, our income's like $25,000. Is like the, like, median.
Our median's way high.
It's
Is that-
higher than that.
Yeah,
I think
we're
it's
like higher than,
almost $70,000.
we're
It's
way
the
higher
last
than
time.
most other cities in the area.
Yeah,
Weird.
it's
way-
all the seasonal
Mhm.
lake owners.
Interesting.
But yeah, that,
Well,
I-
this is the average individual income is 31, so maybe that's where I saw that at.
yeah.
Yeah, the people that live here.
Yeah,
Yeah.
but I'll keep looking. No, there's not a whole lot that are available right now. It's kind of at a weird time in the year.
I think the T-Mobile one would be a good one to
Yeah,
apply for, and I don't know who mentioned it last time we were talking about it, but that baseball field, like making that an amphitheater.
I was thinking it'd be really cool because we could even like charge for movies. We could do like movie night. And it's, you know, $2 a person or whatever, you know, we could do some really cool things to bring in some money. That would benefit the community and the kids and stuff. So I think it'd be a really cool project to work on, come up with.
And I know North Bend does that where they used to, where you bring canned goods or something and then we could donate to the.
Yeah, there's a lot of things we could do that could be really fun and bring in stuff for our community.
We just have to decide what we wanna do and. council has to decide to apply for it as a.
Well, they want it to be something that we really take our time to come up with the project. They want 5 letters of support from community members. They want to see engagement. That's a really big thing for this. They really want it to be something that the community works together to come up with. Because it's the hometown grant, so that's what it's for.
I wonder if, like the Lakeside business owners and the senior center would be interested in helping us
Yeah.
apply for this.
Yeah.
Um,
You have 1 year to do it, once you get the grant for 50,000.
I think there's some good grant writers about the senior.
yeah.
Okay,
You wanna ask them?
Yeah.
Since you
Yeah.
have this to go back,
yeah,
that'd be great.
so it says adaptive uses of older and historic buildings into community gathering spaces, improvements to outdoor parks and trails. And technology projects for libraries. There's a lot of information on it. This is just a real short summary, but. Yeah, I think it'd be a really fun project.
Will you take it to the library?
Yeah.
And I'll take it to the seniors.
Okay.
All right. We'll keep this on the agenda going forward, but
Okay.
Yeah, and I'll keep looking, because there's a lot that just closed with the end of summer.
yeah. All right. 28 multi-beach maintenance, I tried contacting the parks guy Friday, and then I missed his call, and I haven't gotten back in touch with him. But we canceled that contract at Wolfie Beach, and nothing's been done there since. I had my daughter's birthday party there in August, and the weeds were this tall, and there's wasps, and it's starting to look pretty
So many
bad.
posts.
So I'm getting in touch with the county to say it's a county park, we canceled the contract. Try to encourage them to help, but they haven't always been receptive to that in the past, so we need to decide. We need to talk with Dennis, and city staff to see if he's gonna be able to keep it up, and if not, then. I just wanted to put it on the agenda because it needs to be on our radar, because it's getting left completely untouched.
Is the LBO council plan says that LBO, that'd be something that they can help pick up and do and stuff.
Oh, did you say that?
Oh, when they first were talking about canceling contract.
From what I've heard, is like the LBO's. Got their hands full with other things, so I'm not sure, that's my thoughts on it, so I'm wondering if they would. Be open to it, we can definitely ask. Or we can find a local person or company that's cheaper,
Mm-hmm.
Might have somebody.
yeah, like $650 a month,
Yeah,
or something, yeah. So I'm gonna get in touch with the county first and find that issue, but I was hoping I would have gotten in touch with them, but. Just putting that on the radar. Okay, let's get to the board and committee reports. Skip Airport watershed.
Okay, the watershed meeting was canceled. Next meeting is set for October 14th at 5:30. They did have the State of the Lakes dinner meeting on August 15th at the Lions Club, and the food was really good. It was the day it was drizzling, so there weren't as many people as normal, but it was very informative about almost too much with the spores and stuff. I mean, you know, I did kind of glass over a little bit on that part, sorry. But the food was excellent, and then I did enjoy Mike Mather's presentation and the other person, so. And she was there.
It was the monitoring of the algae predominantly, was the long presentation, as well as the property owners that are currently under a project to see when they pump water out of the lake, which filtering systems are accurately working and not accurately working.
And
So
that
as a
part,
recap.
yeah, that part was really interesting, because they talked about, they're monitoring the filter, unfiltered, and the system through the house and that kind of stuff. So that was kind of the neat, it was like, this is when she did the micro things that.
Water district.
Well, because of scheduling, I did not attend the meeting, so I have no report.
Okay, 10 Mile Lake Association.
10 Mile Lake Association met on September 3rd. And I wasn't able to attend due to ill health. I understand their large item pickup on the lakes on October 20, August 23rd was successful. Removed a lot of items from the lake shores, and they thank their volunteers and less sanitation for help. Their annual history dinner is Saturday, September 27th. Social hour and silent auction begins at 4:30. Dinner starts at 6. Their guest speaker is Patty Phillips. The entree choices include prime rib, salmon, or chicken cordon bleu. And the cost of the dinner is $55 per person. It's their main fundraising event for the year. If you want more information, you can go to 10milelakes.com.
That's a hard one.
You know when the next meeting is?
October 1st.
Okay. So the next meeting is October 1st.
Perfect.
It's 5:30 at the lunch.
What day was the dinner again, the 27th?
The dinner's the 27th.
At the lodge.
Okay, code enforcement, we talked a lot about, okay, anyways, what, fire district.
Well, the fire hall is still in construction, so we've been meeting at the council chamber, and since the car was off, we didn't meet yesterday, we're gonna meet next week, next Wednesday.
Okay,
Nothing today.
Albedo, he's not here, code enforcement, we talked a lot about that, food supply. We'll be posting it on the website. Senior board.
Okay, the senior meeting was Tuesday and it was canceled because they thought potentially the electricity would be off. So it's gonna be in October on the 14th. And the community breakfast is this Saturday, the 13th, 8:30 to 11:30.
Right, library board was already covered. Planning committee report, I think you did a good job.
Maybe.
Yeah.
Sure, might not want to wake me up again.
Mayor and council comments, Councilman Harden.
Another good meeting.
Okay, I have some stuff, so. I received an email from our fireworks company, a couple weeks ago that our fireworks are going to be increasing 25%, or firework cost is gonna be increasing 25%. So I've sent them over our current budget for the year. They're gonna get back to us about how much that's gonna cut down our fireworks show, but we'd probably say about a quarter of it is gonna be gone. So, which is really sad, but, once we find out, you know, how much that'll affect it, we can figure out if you wanna do a fundraiser or do something, put boots out all year long. But that's gonna be huge for us. We have the wastewater treatment plant funding meeting October 2nd in Salem, so we're gonna be presenting our loan application to them, which staff has been working, and the budget officer's been working very hard on getting that put together, so I will be up in Salem. I think with Sharon to present that. And fingers crossed, we get the loan. I talked to the US Forest Service about the trailer that's been parked in front of the city, or, you know, right when you come off of Highway 101. They told me they know about it. There's nothing they can do about it because they don't have any money to tow it currently because their budget's frozen, and
That's literally the same thing I've been telling people for months, but they don't seem to believe me.
I know,
so
that's
just
why
like-
I'm saying it publicly, that they know about it, they can't do anything, and then the person who can do something has to do an investigation on it, and he's on a fire for 2 weeks. And then I said, well, what if the city could pay for it? And he said, no, we're not allowed to do that either until that guy gets back from the fire and conducts his investigation. So the trailer will be sitting there.
It's abandoned.
Yeah, I know.
No, I was just asking.
Yeah, it's abandoned.
They're the ones.
It has been for a couple weeks.
Yeah, and there's needles and how it's a hazmat issue.
There's biohazard.
Yeah.
Those trailers usually have fecal matter and urine in their tanks. And oil, gasoline, they're a biohazard.
Yeah, so it's really sad that we can't do anything about that, but, Counselor Miller and I had a meeting at Shutters Creek with, a representative from DSL about, they're taking over Shutters Creek. And they're trying to figure out what to do with it, and in that, they're checking our contract with the sewer lines and why they're paying so much money for nothing being pumped out into our sewer system. We have a contract with them until 2027. But they're looking really hard and crunching all the numbers about why they're paying still. So, Counselor Miller and I are going to get information together. They wanna walk the whole sewer line. They wanna know if we've done our end of the contract, which is inspections and maintenance on that line. So, we've been, let's just, fingers crossed that Shutters Creek, they get something cool up there that they'll keep paying their sewer bill. The Oregon Coast Economic Summit is on the 25th of this month. It's $50 to go, and it's all day at the mill, and they provide dinner, and there's a lot of great representatives from all over. And they talk about the coastal development, so I'm encouraging us to go. I think it's $50 for a day of information is a pretty big deal, and it's local. And slide at the playground. Wasn't that an insurance issue? And I wanted to see if we needed to do anything about that.
I'm not sure, isn't that what was in Dennis's report, something about,
I didn't see
didn't he fix something, the,
Well, the slide is, it's that
different?
one that doesn't have the walls, and
It's
CIS
been
said,
like that for 12 years.
yeah, it's the way it's designed.
Yeah, it's sketchy.
It is sketchy, yeah.
Okay,
But CIS said they're coming out to do an inspection here in a few weeks, and I didn't know if we needed to talk about replacing the slide with something safer that's gonna affect our insurance.
oh,
How many
yeah,
years has that slide been in there and been used by the kids?
No, long time.
Yeah,
Yeah,
It was here when I
it's just,
moved here in 2012.
our insurance company pointed out some things that are costing us more money, and that was one of them, because it's not. I mean, I don't like my 4-year-old going down that slide, so.
can we just remove it?
Then you'll have an empty space that children can leap off of,
Yeah.
which my child would be the one leaping off of it, so.
I mean, it's something we can talk about when the CIS representative is out here in a few weeks, but.
Okay. And, or maybe there's something, maybe you could retrofit guardrails or something, I don't know what it looks like.
Tires, but that's, besides the cleanup days, that's it for me.
Well, I have a question about the fireworks.
Yeah.
There are cans, like I know the wagon wheel and a couple other cans that put out that is money in them. And nobody will pick them up.
I
So,
thought Shirley was in charge of picking those up.
but, so have you, because I know we had discussed it, because I was contacted and I said, I'm not touching it unless somebody authorization. That might be something, because LBO, we thought was gonna do it, or anyhow, there's money.
Waiting
Make
for
sure
us?
you need money into it.
No,
The LVO was gonna get it all together and then present us a check, so I'll follow up on that.
In July, I was asked about it.
Yeah.
So, we might want to, if we're gonna have a cut, I mean, if they're.
Yeah.
I guess, and for the other things, yes, we should do that. Find you call LBO or whatever and see who's picking up the money. And they should bring it to the city, what they used to do in the past, is we had those things, and I called them Jones jars, and she used to put them all over the country. I mean, she put them everywhere, and then she'd go collect them, she'd bring the jars to us, we pour out the money and we count it, and we put it into donations. And we had them all year.
Because our budget was budgeted $5,000 in donations. And so they're, I mean,
Yeah,
so it's just, we gotta track that stuff.
I mean, you might have to do a counselor car wash.
Yeah, that's not
Or a
right.
dunk tank,
Yeah, I don't think, yeah.
But I mean, that's something that maybe we should,
I'll follow up with
yeah,
it.
because if we're sure, I'll go and we'll count the money with the owner so we can verify, because you don't want to be handing cash unless they say something, but we should get it and.
Well, they're not ours, though.
Yeah.
That's the
It's
thing.
the LDOs.
And so since we didn't place them and we didn't tell them where to place them, I don't know if we should do.
I'll get in touch with some about it.
Yeah, and if not, maybe the signature puts them out.
Oh, I'll move it there and then,
Tonight.
Yeah.
Okay.
Can I just mention something about the fireworks?
Yeah.
In the past, there used to be adopted fireworks. So there's actually a list of what each fireworks cost, so that people could actually donate money.
Oh,
I want this one, you know, put it next.
Oh, that's a really good
I mean,
idea.
I'll have to do a line item list and.
Yeah, that'd
do
be
that
cool.
again this year, yeah, that's a great idea. Any other comments? Comments?
All right, taking your theme, some positive, some negative. It's, I think it's important that at our regular meetings like this one, that the packets be completed and available about a week ahead of time. And if for some reason there's an item where the documentation just isn't coming together on time, if it's not an emergency, then it should be held over for another meeting. Just my feeling is, you know, when we get new materials and we show up for the meeting, we're not given the opportunity to take time to reflect on the content. We have to make really fast judgments, which is not the best. And we're also not permitting the public to engage with those discussions because they're not seeing it at all. So I kind of think that's important. That's my negative thing. My positive thing is, Sharon mentioned earlier tonight that Lakeside has a lot of volunteers. And that's something that's always impressed me about this community is that there's a ton of people that are out volunteering with their time and their energy, just trying to make things better and not expecting anything in return. And it's, you know, it's really lovely, whether it's the fire department or the library or the books, the senior center, or people sitting here, or, you know, there's examples all over town, some we're not even aware of, and it's really a nice aspect of this community.
Well, I have two things. One of them, and I hope everybody got the email from the LOC about the training that's coming up for municipal government, which includes the Ethics Commission training that we're all required to attend. And they have 2 live trainings. They also have an online one, so we'll contact the LOC about that.
Do you know the date that they were, do you not happen to know the dates offhand of the?
It's in the email.
Okay, I'll look.
I don't think I sent an email either.
We're not running those emails. What's going on with that?
It does not have our, with the Oregon on it still now.
It doesn't matter, they said,
Well, you need to contact the LOC and get on their mailing list.
yeah.
So there's that. Now, the other thing is, well, I passed by Dennis cleaning up the pile of garbage that was at the end of the street where the aforementioned trailer was. He told me that 2 of the homeless people helped him clean that up and told him that it was a pickup from Lakeside that brought that out there and dumped it. And he had that story from 2 other witnesses to it also. Not a good thing. So.
On that note, really quickly, Dennis did say, and we talked about some sort of incentive program to help the homeless people that did want to clean up. Be it, you know, $10 gift cards to McKay's if they bring in trash or something. That's something I think we should talk about at the next workshop that we have for code enforcement, because like, you know, Rob said, there's a lot of volunteers and a lot of volunteers that don't get recognized or, you know, just do it out of the kindness of their heart. So, especially the homeless people, it's not always their fault, so.
Can I add something to the homeless thing? So. All the people that live full-time in that area, almost all of them have Lakeside natives. And then the trash that I find down there that's dumped, I always check for addresses, they're all Lakeside addresses. Dennis is really good about taking them back to the houses that they came from. But it's, yeah, just put that out there, and Dennis does provide garbage bags to these guys, he does a fantastic job of trying to get them to clean up, but. Yeah, Dennis will return trash if he finds an address, just sort of like, because he's done it for me.
Return to sender.
Yes.
The code enforcement meeting, we'll just talk about it there. All right, well, with that being said, we'll adjourn this meeting at 8:34.
Does anyone know what time